mean, that's what we do during any of our podcasts is just make shit up.
Sort of.
See, and that was fun. We make shit up and we make fun noises when we hit our microphone stand.
That was a good fun noise.
It was a good fun noise.
Did you hit it with your shoulder?
No, I hit it with my finger. I
Oh.
was doing a large motion. I was trying to be large, live large.
Well,
You have never seen Ted Lasso, have you?
Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, they won a whole bunch of awards. They have 2 seasons out. It's all on Apple TV though, or Apple Plus.
Oh, that's why. I'm a non-Apple guy. I'm an orange guy.
You're an orange guy. Yeah. At least you're not a pear guy.
Compare them though. We should compare them.
Compare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apples.
No. So one of the things that they talk about is to be confident is one of the characters, they stand large and they stand on their toes and get large. That's where I was going with that. So anyway,
sorry.
You have to see it. I bet you, 50% of our listeners have seen it.
Whatever. Let's talk about shows we actually both do know.
Okay.
Jeremy Clarkson's Farm.
Yep. Or the next Grand Tour is going to be coming out on the 16th, I think. The 16th.
How old are those guys going to be?
They're old.
Well, they got to be mid-70s. Low.
Oh, God, no. They're not that old. No.
Shut up.
No.
I'll bet you anything.
Jeremy Clarkson is. Yeah. You think Jeremy Clarkson's in his 70s?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think he's that old.
Dude, I'm 61.
So? And you don't look a day over 65.
Shut up. That may be true, but look at how they have. I mean, they weren't 30 when they started. They were probably 40.
He is your age.
Really?
He is 61 years old.
Maybe it's because the other guy, who's the James May, looks so much older.
Well, let's see how old James May is.
Okay. Gosh, I hate that we have technology.
I know, right? He's 58 years old.
Shut up!
Yep. Well, you know what they say about Brits? They just live really, really hard.
I am so old. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What's with Richard Hammond?
Well, he always looked to be younger, but
wouldn't it be funny if he's the oldest?
90. Yeah. If you were 90.
He is 51.
I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I thought they were so much older.
I am horrible with ages. Always have been.
But it's not even that. It's just that I've been watching them since they did Top Gear, which seems to me like it was, I don't know, 20. It was a long
time ago. It absolutely was a long time ago.
But that means Hammond was 10 when they started. I'm not good at math either.
Yeah, probably. You're close enough.
But wow, he was really young when they started, obviously.
Yep.
In his mid-20s.
Probably.
I would guess.
I would assume so.
Anyway, okay. So but his farm, I'm excited to see, and hopefully they're shooting that now. Isn't that kind of?
I think they are. I've seen some posts on his Instagram, but you never know with him. Even with the Grand Tour, you never know until it's about 2 weeks out from actually airing.
So what I always thought was weird about Top Gear and the Grand Tour is that they make the audiences stand in the studio.
They do, but this season is the first season which is why there's so much time between them. They're not doing that anymore. So this season of the Grand Tour isn't really a whole season. This will be their 3rd or 4th actual program. So they've eliminated the tent. They've eliminated the segments. Now it's literally just them going out and doing those big adventures. And it's an hour and a half of that.
But I enjoyed the studio audience. I don't want to make it seem like I didn't.
Oh, no. And I think they did too.
They had them stand. I mean, they were standing for an hour. It seemed like, which, I mean, even the strictest Catholic Church lets people sit down.
That is true. Yes. That is true. And I apologize for all the noise. My family is moving around the house quite a bit. So if anyone's hearing doors slamming, that's
you're probably the only one that is that's hearing
probably.
It.
Yeah.
Of course, I have earplugs in underneath my earphones. Exactly.
Sorry, John, your age is now showing. You don't need to put earplugs under your headphones. You just turn the volume down.
I don't have volume. This is cheap.
You have volume.
I do on my input.
Yeah, on your computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
the
I don't
knob.
want to do that.
Oh, okay. Because you just love hearing the soothing tenor of my voice coming through your ear muffs.
Did you just say muffs?
Yes, I did. I had to
This
choose
is
my
why
word. I chose my word wisely, but I had to choose it on the spot and quickly. So that was the only thing that came into my head. It just popped there. It was the muff.
I have been with you more than once when muff has popped into your head.
Yeah, I can't deny that. There's no denying.
And so
No.
Let's talk about that for a minute, because you are in the center of the country, north to south, and
Yeah,
kind of east to
okay.
west too. Yeah.
Kinda. Yeah.
But they always used to say that Paducah, Kentucky
Mhm.
was the best location in the nation. The guy on Weather Channel used to say that because it's kind of central. And so is Nashville. Nashville is kind
Sure.
of the
It's not that
major
far away.
city, right,
Yeah.
that's closest to that. And I'm in Florida now,
Mhm.
and it is, well, let's just see what the temperature is here in beautiful
So let
Southwest
me tell you
Florida.
about our weather the past few days. So,
Okay.
2 days ago, it was probably in the 40s, maybe even got down to the 30s. I know overnight we were freezing,
Mhm.
and, yesterday was in the 60s. Today we are at 71.
Can you
Tomorrow
see
we're
this?
at yeah, I see it,
Okay.
75. Tomorrow we're at 72.
Wow.
Saturday, I think it's 72 again, and then Sunday it's 45. And then
Oh,
the rest of the week is in the
wow.
40s.
Yes. So it's been in the mornings, it's been in the 40s, off and on, 40s to 50s. And it feels chilly to me already.
Yeah,
And you think, coming from the Midwest, that, well, 50? Pff, I'm wearing a t-shirt, and
right.
which I'm usually
I
still wearing shorts, but
I still maintain, and I have been argued this point a lot. I have no data to back it up. I just know what I feel.
mhm,
I really do think that the humidity is a factor when you come south, because I had this really awesome coat that I had when I was in high school. It was
mhm.
really, really thick. It could be 30 degree. If it was 30 degrees in Minnesota, it was too warm. That coat was, you had to open it up or you had to take it off. You were
Yep.
always too warm.
Mhm.
I brought it down to Nashville when I brought all my stuff. I mean, I wasn't going to get rid of it. It was a wonderful coat. And I would wear it when it was 30 degrees in Nashville and I'd still be freezing my ass off.
Yeah. But I think we acclimate, and that was really my point. I think we
Mhm.
acclimate differently when, I mean, we lived in Denver for a while, and as soon as we got out there, we decided to go up into the mountains, and went up to Mount Evans, which is the highest mountain road in the US,
Mhm.
and at the time anyway. And I was just gulping for air because of the altitude.
Right.
But there were some people, you make the joke, but it's really not a joke. There was a lady with a walker, and she had less wheezing than I did. And and so but then after a while, you become acclimated to that. While we lived there, we came to visit some friends who lived in Orlando.
Okay.
And when we got here, it was so humid that it was like it was raining on the inside of their car when they picked us up at the airport. And Denver has no humidity, or very
Right.
little,
Right.
quite often, along with the altitude. And we were, could you please turn on the air conditioning? Because it was killing us.
Yeah.
But I think when you get acclimated to it, then it changes. Whoops, see, I'm doing the
Sure.
same thing.
Yeah.
Changes your perspective.
I agree. I agree. Um, People do make fun of me as because I
As
have
they should.
no yeah, well, yeah, that could be a whole other podcast about how people should make fun of me. But that said, people make fun of me all the time because I'm not afraid to say I'm from Minnesota. I'm
Yes.
very proud to be a Minnesotan. I think I've said that plenty of times on the podcast.
I think it's
But
fair to say that most people who are from there are proud to say that they're not there anymore.
that or that they are still proud that they're from there. I'd
And
rather be
not
proud to be
there.
from there, right, exactly. But anyway, people always make fun of me because it gets chilly out and I'm perfectly comfortable, but I'm wearing a coat and I'm wearing sweatshirt with wearing my hoodies and stuff like that. My answer is one of the reasons I survived the cold living in Minnesota is I knew how to dress for it. So
Ah,
the reason you're freezing your ass off and I'm comfortable is because I'm wearing this stuff.
Good point. But I in the Midwest, if I were, visiting a client or something like that, it I, I had like a 32-degree rule that I would not wear an overcoat if it was above 32 degrees. I could always
Okay.
wear a sport jacket and I
Sure.
would be fine. But I did not bring out the overcoat until it was below freezing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, here's my thing. I just wore whatever was comfortable at the time.
And that's smart. But that's how I defined what was comfortable.
Right. Yeah,
What I
but
had
I
done in the
still,
past.
again, people making fun of me, which happens quite often.
Ah,
Sometimes I wore it on the podcast the other day. I was wearing my puffer vest in the house. And I was like, why are you wearing that in the house? Why wouldn't I? It's comfortable.
I honestly thought that was your new nickname.
Puffer vest.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. It's a good nickname.
it
I'm
really
going to
is.
change my name right now. It says quid pro quo, but I'm changing it to puffer vest.
Yeah, what does mine say?
Puffer, Bo Jiden.
I don't know why, but I thought I'd bell it backwards.
I
So
like
you'd
it.
pay it
I like it.
backwards. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you should say that. That's how I talk about Ted Lasso, going back to earlier part of the conversation, because
Mhm.
during one of the episodes, he does a reversal in his attitude. So he calls himself Led Tasso. So I walk around. So Jen and I, whenever like, you want to go watch a Led Tasso?
Funny.
Yeah. So
I have a
anywho,
buddy. We used to do that we worked together years ago, and it was like our conversations. At Dayuhuan, Evan Cohen is his name, Kevin Owen, and we'd always balk backwards. Dayuhuan, oh, Giddy Prud, how's what happening? And all our total conversation. So we'd write emails, balking backwards and belling backwards, and and it's not really backwards; it's just changing the
the
first
first
letter and
letter.
swapping
Yeah.
it to the next word.
That takes
Anyway,
talent. That's a couple of, I couldn't do it.
this
I
is
couldn't do
another
it fast
thing
enough.
I will never earn money for. I can do that. I can do initializing, ICDI. I can do initializing, and those I can pretty much do quickly. There is no money in either of those things.
There could be. You haven't
Would
explored
you
it well enough.
Any of our listeners, viewers, if you know of any gigs that will allow me to initialize conversations or any acronyms instantly, and that's going to pay me big money, please do let us know.
And his phone number is.
Do not send naked pictures. Please do not send naked pictures to
His social
PoddiMouths.com.
security number is.
Oh, they all have that, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's funny. Speaking of social security cards, numbers, my original card, I think I still have. I think it's the original. And it's my old signature where it's 13-year-old John signing. I had to
Nice.
get one for my paper route when I was 13 years old.
Okay, go on.
Jon, and then I had the old style. I think like the 2 is the Q, 2UADE, and I think I still have it. I need to lay my hands on that at some point.
I'll have to look to see, because I don't even remember signing mine.
Oh, really?
It's been. I have the original too.
Okay.
I mean, granted, you got 21 years now, got 18 years on me, but
well, I had to chisel mine. If
yeah,
that tells you
It was
anything. Yeah. Took a while.
Just call you Fred.
Flintstone. I knew. Yes. So that was. It's interesting to see how things change. When I ran a dealership, I had to start signing checks every week. So anytime checks were cut, I had a stack of, between 50 and 150, depending upon the day of the month. And and there goes my signature.
Yeah.
It's the same way.
That's what I have to say. My signature has not changed. But it's still very, very long, because the exception is I don't put my middle name, because my middle name is just as long as my first name. And but my signature is really long, because I always sign. I don't sign Nick Cubic. I sign Nicholas Cubic.
Well, of course,
and it is fully spelled out. I don't do the fancy line or anything.
But you used to sign with your middle name?
No, that's only like for legal documents. You have to. So I have to get in that habit. But even without my middle name, it's really, really long. Okay. So I feel bad, like when I'm at the grocery store or something, if I have to sign a document, I do the whole signature, and I'm just so most people I see go, and that's it. Mine's you could probably count to 10 for how long it takes me to actually do my signature. Let's try it.
But I think
here, let's start. You tell me when to go, and I'll do my signature.
Hold on. And then you have to tell me to stop. I'm going to do this scientifically.
I'll do it as fast as I can. Yeah.
Hold on.
I'll write it as fast as I can.
Stopwatch. Okay. And
tell me when to go.
You down. 3, 2, 1, go.
Stop.
5.93 seconds.
See? That's how long it takes me to do my signature.
And I was probably a little slow because I'm 61 years old. So it was probably 5.9.
Can you see that? That's my signature.
That looks like Donald Trump's signature.
Nah, it's so much nicer. Yeah.
Yes.
It's much more impressive.
Yours is very impressive.
Yeah.
Mine is much quicker. But even on legal documents, I'm John F. I don't do my full name, which is Frederick. So you have Jon, little tiny name, Frederick, and then medium name in the end. And it's, so whatever.
Have we talked about my mom's nickname for me growing up?
The good ones or the bad ones?
Well, it's both, because people think it's bad, but it's not.
Well, it's kind of weird. Your name is Nick, and was that your nickname?
No, exactly. No, my mom used to call me Icky Nicky, and a lot of people think it's because I'm icky, but it's not. It's because it's Nicholas Dominic Cubic, Icky Nicky. There's a lot of icks in there.
I think that's awesome. I guess I did know that Dominic, but I was actually going to say that it was, I may have been thinking of a steak. I was going to say Delmonico or something like that.
Delmonico, it was good steak.
Delicious steak. Yeah.
No, it was I was told, my mom told me this, but my aunt, of course, argues the point, and my mom's not around to defend herself. But for, I guess, the first few minutes of my life, my middle name was Peter. But my dad changed it. So, because his middle name is Dominic as well.
Peter,
which is also one of my cousin's middle names.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
my grandfather's
cousin's middle names. Oh, okay. Got it.
It's so he also has that as a middle name, but and I think that's what my mom wanted, but I think my dad won out on that one.
Yeah. I like Dominic. I think
I do too.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I could be Nick either way. Doesn't matter.
You absolutely could. Mm-hmm. You could. Nick.
You
could be Nick. Now, if your first name was like, if your first name would have been Peter, you could have been like Picnic.
So that's what my aunt calls me.
Picnic?
Picnic. That's her nickname for me. Picnic or Pickle. But that's because cute. I used to eat a lot of pickles. I still eat a lot of pickles. I like pickles.
Okay. I was hoping that's what the reason was.
Yeah. I used to awesome. at family gatherings, like on Thanksgiving is a perfect example.
Yes.
I would always do a beeline right for the tray that had all the little pickles and olives on it.
Did they have
and that's all I'd ever eat.
Or did you go to the actual dill pickles?
Dill was my favorite.
Okay.
But if that was not available, the good old gherkin would be just.
I like the gherkin because those are the sweeter pickled ones, right?
Sure. I think gherkins, that's the size of a pickle.
They're small. Sure. Maybe so. Okay.
I think they're the
I'm with
size.
you. I like them too. Before I forgot, I wanted to talk as we were talking about earmuffs. Not that these are. Up north. Would see a couple, hey, they're up north then. You would see some people wearing earmuffs. And usually, if they weren't snow bunnies, which some of them are, usually they were not from there.
No.
Because nobody who is really trying to stay warm
would
wears earmuffs.
Right.
It's sort of like if you're trying to protect the top of your head from sun, you wear what are those called?
A sun visor?
Yeah, a visor.
Yeah.
Without the hat.
Yep. Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah. No, I have worn earmuffs before because back in the 80s, that was the style for kids. But yeah, it didn't keep you warm. It kept my ears warm, but I have massive ears. So I had had to keep them warm.
Elephant ears.
Yeah. If I wear a regular cap, which I do wear a cap quite often, my earlobes hang out. It's horrible. It's just horrible.
Cut it out. Well, you know what? It's going to get worse as you age.
I know. I think I just cut them off.
You see, seriously, some older folks, especially dudes, have
massive earlobes. Yes. You could just call them elephant ears at that point.
Well, you don't want to their faces.
But I feel really bad for people that have with big ears that have to wear masks, like me, because you put the mask on. They're not, the ears aren't solid, really. They're just, and they just go whoop. You look like Dumbo. I look like Dumbo. The only reason I'm making fun of those people is because I look like that.
I don't think that's true. I've never thought there was any danger of you flying away.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. Well, someone has clipped my wings at some point. But,
I think here's an easy solution. If you have massive ears, and this is hypothetical, you could put like a mounting bracket on the inside of your ear canal and then hook the mask over that.
That's a great idea. We should invent that. By the time it gets mass produced and is out in the market, COVID will be gone.
That's true, but there will be something else, and COVID will never be gone.
gone in the sense that people aren't going to wear masks anymore.
As long as there still are elections, COVID's probably going to be a thing.
Okay, we're not supposed to be political, John.
Not political, not today. But I'm just saying. Anyway, tell me about. And so we were talking. This is fun because we get into our podcast and we talk about last week's podcast.
Yeah.
Nick and I want to give you props, and I usually do, for your labeling. He creates the byline for all of the podcasts. And
I've already got 2 of them for this week.
You're actually brilliant. And I know you write them down as we invent them. There are some really funny ones. Just, I wish the podcasts were as funny as your bylines.
I do too.
Anyway, it's just it's fun to see what you come up with. But when we talk about the podcast, during the podcast, remember the last podcast when we were talking about, that's not fair to the viewers and listeners, so I'll try to avoid that. But I do have to say, your post on YouTube, and if you haven't seen it, viewers and listeners, go to YouTube, search PoddiMouths, and look at last week's podcast if you're not a normal viewer, and you will see just the cutest screen cap with the right side removed, which is the side I'm on. But it's Jen and Peyton, and they are both smiling, and it's just really a cute picture. And Peyton's Nope, NOPE shirt that she was wearing was also,
which she came on the podcast wearing
screen cap.
Thank you.
She did. And gosh, that's weird though for a young lady to, as if she would ever say nope to you.
Nope. I know. Exactly. Now, and really, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, the only reason I chose that particular screenshot, because every other one you were kind of doing this. And for those of you who's kind
of, are you saying I have that dopey? Okay, well, let me just.
I'm not saying anything. I was showing
it. More people to view. This may get more people to view if they see me actually do it.
Yeah, something.
It's kind of the mouth breather look. I like to do. I'm thinking
that's good. It's a good explanation. I should. Well, you should. Why not? You got time.
It's very attractive, ladies. I'm married. Don't even bother.
Wow.
That was like an awkward pause from Craig Ferguson's old Late Show.
I love Craig Ferguson.
Love
He's
that. One of my Me too. That guy is so quick and so funny. I can't believe that show has been off the air for several years now.
I know. What's happened? I've seen him pop up in commercials and stuff, but I haven't really.
Well, and he's all over YouTube, with the old shows, and he's hilarious with the attractive actresses or whomever that he has on. He's just so funny.
That's a really good segue into another topic.
Yep.
It's the accent that allows people like that, I think, to get away with certain things. And I'm going to bring Ted Lasso back into this because it's Jason Sudeikis. I can never pronounce his name. Sudeikis, who's from SNL.
Yeah.
Is this SNL? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Funny. He's the one who writes it. He's the one who invented, and he's also the star of it. He plays Ted Lasso. So he's American. There's a couple of other American characters in it, but the rest of the cast is almost all British, except for some of the other soccer players football players from other parts of the world. But there are some of them that they're just so freaking hilarious, but what's coming out of their mouths wouldn't be as funny if it were an American accent.
That's a good point.
You have to look up the character Roy Kent, Roykent, because Roy Kent is one of the main characters, and oh my god, he is so funny. And it's a lot of it is just the accent. It's almost a Manchester type accent. It's hilarious. It's freaking hilarious. Same with the other one, a couple of the other characters. There's one Jamie Tart, and he's got a really thick Manchester accent. So everything that comes out of his mouth. So like there was a Christmas scene where he's like, I can't do the accent, but he's like, "God bless me." And but the way he just said it, the way it came out of his mouth, you're just like, you're just kind of like, oh, it's typical Jamie Tart, because you have to have seen the program, but then you're just laughing because of the way it came out of his mouth. It's so funny. So funny.
That's awesome.
God bless me, each and every one of you.
I will try to check it out, although you know me, I'm not really
even if you can do a few clips on YouTube, it's worth it.
Sure.
It's definitely worth it. And for those of you who haven't seen Ted Lasso and you have access to Apple Plus, please watch it. I'm going through it. It's my second time watching it with Jen. It's very, very good.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this, and I know I've already done it, which is, how can you watch something twice when there are so many things to watch? But I've done it with Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm watching it with Jen, who's watching it for the first time.
Okay, that makes it different. But
I'm not rewatching it just for fun.
No, but I did with Downton Abbey, and actually Lisa and I both watched it twice.
Yeah.
And Downton then we watched the movie twice, which is awesome.
I own the movie, so
I might too. But it's just great. And the movie was like a separate episode, and so it was, it's really cool. And they're talking still, I think, about bringing it back.
No, they're making another one. It's almost done. I think it's released in 2022.
Oh,
but I think they're done filming. I think they're just editing. I don't know. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that will be cool. So we've been watching Wentworth. Have you seen that?
I think I've seen one episode.
Oh boy.
I'm not sure.
I don't know how to explain it. It draws you in a bit, and the characters are at first it was kind of weird. I didn't really care for it at first, but then you get the character development, and they interact in different ways, and it's just it's a unique show. But very seldom have we watched two in a row, because they're a little tough to take.
Are they?
About a women's prison.
Yeah.
And it's just some dastardly stuff that goes on. And
it's kind of a step up from Orange is the New Black.
I have never seen that. So I cannot speak to that, but
we liked the first couple of seasons. But I think after the second season, we just stopped watching. I don't know. It just never kept our interest after that. It was, sometimes they keep just doing the same thing over and over again.
Oh, sure. We're season 4 of Wentworth now.
Okay.
So we've seen some stuff.
Yeah.
But it's there are just some parts that are tough. So because it's kind of difficult, we'll switch to a Chopped after we watch an episode.
Nice.
So Chopped, a little mindless, and we're thinking about a basket with secret ingredients in it. But it's
have you been watching or have you seen Ghosts? You've heard me talk about Ghosts. There's the British version, and then there's the American version. Just like The Office, it's the same thing. But they're still, so both of them are still happening at the same time. Like Ghosts, the British version of Ghosts, they're filming and about to release their 3rd season, or maybe their 4th season, while the first season of the American version is airing. But I would highly recommend that too if you get a chance. Watch the British version first, and then watch the American version, because the first episode is very similar, but then they kind of all stray off into their own directions. So it's not exactly the same thing. Have you caught any of the?
I have terrible connectivity.
Do you?
Have you noticed that?
I think it's me.
It's
I have a big red mark. It's probably because people are actually doing in the house. Doing things in the house.
Well, it might be mine as well. Okay.
I don't know. Okay. But you can still hear me, kind of?
I can. It's just very blurry, and I'm probably the same on your screen.
No, actually, you're not. You're very
Pixelated.
Clear. Not even. You're very, very clear.
Well, let me be clear. Be clear.
Well, I tell you what. I mean, it has been 30 minutes, and I know, our listeners are probably chomping at the bit to do absolutely nothing.
Get the hell out of here.
Get the hell out of here. I think, John and you and I have been discussing, I'm not sure if this is what's actually going to happen, but I think we have one more episode after this. That's going to be a new episode, and then we take the rest of the year off. So we'll be picking up season 4 in just a couple of weeks.
Yes,
because we can. Mainly because I am going to try. The third time is the charm. We're trying to get to Disney. Hopefully, COVID won't get in the way. Even though we've got a lot of stuff between now and there that could throw COVID on both of us or all three of us, but who knows? We'll find out. We'll find out very, very soon.
Well, let's talk about that offline, because I would love to maybe see if we can get together at some point.
Absolutely.
If you do come down to Florida, we would love
to hang
out with you guys.
That's right.
Florida.
Yeah. Florida. Yes. We'll definitely plan that. We'll do it offline so you guys don't have to listen to our planning, even though that would probably be a lot of fun.
Or we can do another live podcast, which we haven't done in a long time. Live for us, yeah. I'll leave money on the bed.
Let's talk about that. Let's tease that. That could be episode 1 of next season.
Ooh, it could be.
We have so many surprises in store for you folks. So do us a favor and head up to
Tell your friends.
PoddiMouths.com. And tell your friends, tell your enemies. Jinx.
Yes.
Yeah, buy me a Coke. I hate Coke. Actually, I love Coke. I just don't drink Coke. Ooh, buy us a coffee. Buy us a coffee. You can do that on our website, on our web page, on all that place.
Did I
create
a monster? No, it was beautiful.
Well, good. I'm beautiful. All right, folks. On that note, I'm going to bid you adieu, and we will talk to you next week. John, you have a fantastic evening and an even better tomorrow.
Why, thank you, my friend. And to all of you listeners and viewers, see ya.